pressure down a little. Here starts the 4x4 Namaqua Eco Trail. Rain in northern South Africa. I think I'm going to stay here. Let's wait a little here. I don't see shit. When you get to Pella, it's a bit difficult to know where to go. There are no indications. There are several tracks that look the same, and the people, one points in one direction, another one points in another direction. I didn't exactly know what they were talking about, but finally I think this is the right track. Apparently it goes through those mountains, and the pass is called Charles Pass. And that seems to be the Orange River again. So that means that on that side of Orange River is Namibia. Those mountains belong to Namibia. The river has flooded all the land on both banks. You have to be very careful here because a sudden flooding and it takes all the road away. This was the road that goes to the river and it's all gone. And that is as far as I could go. Well, change of plans. I had to turn around, go back to Pella, take this road, and then I'll go to Klein Pella, and then from Klein Pella I'll go north all the way to the river.
I knew that the further north I drove, I had more chances to find flooded roads, but I had to keep pushing because I was driving through Klein Pela, which is a private plantation, and I didn't want to stop there for the night. But the closer I got to the Orange River, the road was getting worse and worse, and I started driving through deep water crossings. When I drove this last part, which was quite deep and long, and I saw that all around the road was flooded, I decided to call it a day and just park on the roadside and spend the night there, hoping that nobody from the plantation would come in the middle of the night.
This trail is not part of the Namaqua 4x4 trail, but one of the guys at the Palm Day plantation told me that it was very nice, and he pointed me to the way to come here. Look at that. It's probably like 4 or 5 kilometers only. Seems that not too many people take this road.
And what is this road? Well, I didn't want to go back on the same road that led me here because I knew it was all flooded. So I looked for another road to continue my route. And when I checked in Tracks for Africa, I saw there was another road that it was a little longer, seemed to be around the mountains, and the legend said it was off-road. At this point, I should say that if you're following Tracks for Africa, the roads are graded as main tar, main gravel, main off-road, and off-road. That means that you only know that it's main off-road or off-road, but you don't know how bad the off-road is. So I didn't know what I was driving in. The only thing I saw at that point was that not many people took that road because it was overgrown and I didn't see any wheel tracks at all. The first part of the road is shared with a 4x4 trail. There is a 4x4 route, and the first part was graded as a 3, and this was the really easy part. Soon after that, I realized that this route wasn't around the mountain, but up the mountain. So this trail started to gain altitude, and it was steeper and steeper. It was all rocky and loose stones and big drops on the side. It wasn't easy. When it was flat or not too steep, I could manage to get out of the truck and look for the best line. But soon enough, it was steeper and steeper, and it was very difficult to step outside to look for the best line. So the main problem here is that I was alone. So it was kind of dangerous driving there because there was a high risk of scratching the side. When you look in front of you from the driver's seat, it's difficult to see what you have in front of you because it is a tall hood, and if you are climbing, you cannot see exactly if you have rocks, and especially when you get to the top and start descending, it's difficult. It got to a point that it was so narrow that I had big rocks on both sides, and the truck was barely clearing both of them. I looked at the map, I saw that I had a long way ahead of me, that the road was still going up, and it was getting dangerous. I scratched the side of the truck a couple of times. The wheels were skidding. I had a big drops on the side, and there was a lot of loose stone. I decided that it wasn't the best idea to go on. I didn't want to push it and get in a situation of not being able to turn back. And when I got to a point that I couldn't drive, I decided to reverse. Reversing in that condition was very complicated. It was narrow, the truck was slipping downwards. I didn't have much visibility because of the camper on the back, and yeah, it was really complicated. It was very steep, and I have a big drop on the right side, and I couldn't leave the truck to check which direction to go. So yeah, it was kind of scary. And when I got to the flat, I turned around.